Hello, initiates, members, operatives, potential assets, anybody who happens to be watching, welcome to the party. This video is to address issues regarding one of the primary catalysts that the status imperative is to be dealing with, which is, I suppose you could round up to addiction, really. Addiction ultimately, overall, but as it stands, primarily addiction to narcotics, particularly pharmaceutical synthetic narcotics like opiates and such, and which of course leads to heroin. Now, these drugs are in syndication via our big pharma, pharmaceutical corporations, and they want it in syndication. They make big money off of this. They're in the business of treating symptoms. They're in the business of giving you pain relievers. They're in the business of giving you, experimental antidepressants, but or what do you call them, sedatives or tranquilizers to temporarily treat anxieties instead of actually getting to the root, to the cause of the issue and solving the problem entirely. Because if they were to do that, they no longer have a regular customer purchasing their symptom relievers. So pharmaceutical corporations and the medical community in general is not in the business of healing you. They're not in the business of fixing the problems that ail you or working with the difficulties and challenges of your bodily functions. They are in the business of temporarily treating the symptoms so that they can make more money off of the medications. This is why they are known more widely and frequently as the medicine community, the medicine doctors. They're not really physicians by any standard. I mean, in some cases, if you need a surgery or whatnot, they're going to handle that appropriately. They've handled it for me several times. I've been through many major life-threatening surgeries, and thank God for that. Thank them for that. I'm not speaking ill of the medical community at all, but this is how they were trained. This is what they were trained to do, what they were trained to be. It's what they're programmed to be, is treating symptoms and retaining regular customers. Now, the initiative supports, for the sake of treating symptoms, the initiative supports natural remedies, natural substances that the earth, the world, the living world provides to us. The world provides us medicines that do not need to be compounded in synthetic substances. They do not need to be synthesized. They are natural. They exist in the environment. They are provided for us directly. And many of these substances, most particularly psychedelic substances, treat the root cause of illnesses, which is always going to be a psychological difficulty. Every illness you have begins with your emotions, moves through your psychology, and then results in your material structure. The Everything that you experience as a physical problem with your body, that's a symptom of the illness, which is always going to originate as a psychological miscommunication. And a lot of these natural substances will treat that perfectly. Ayahuasca, dimethyltryptamine, even fucking marijuana, cocaine, even psilocybin mushrooms. These things are there for a reason, and they treat particular issues. Some of them, the psychedelic substances, will cure the root cause of issues. However, others like cocaine or marijuana are there to treat the symptoms, and they work very well. They're very useful. They're provided for a reason, and we really ought to be making use of them, because the fact of the fucking matter is that they're there for us and they're free. But pharmaceutical corporations and the medical community does not make money off of free shit. So they treat the symptoms with their synthetic compounds, and they not only ensure you that their synthesized substances are somehow better or more effective or safer even, but they actually outlaw the use of natural remedies. So anyway, getting to the heart of the issue here, one of the primary natural remedies that we are supporting is kratom, Mitragina speciosa. Kratom is a balancer. It's a miraculous wonder drug of sorts. It's just ground leaves in the powder that you eat. You take it with some coffee. I eat it with coffee, and yeah, I use this substance almost daily just to balance me out and help relieve some of the stresses of the the responsibilities that I'm handling daily, to balance me out and to ensure that I have what it takes to keep up with the businesses that are being conducted here. I use kratom. I love it. It's safe, it's effective, it's healthy. It regulates my digestive system. It's beautiful. It works as a natural antihistamine as well, so that I don't get like issues with um you know whatever it's called that people get with the pollen and shit. Fuck. How could I forget that? Anyways, it treats various symptoms. It treats everything. Kratom is useful for just about anything. It relieves anxieties, it relieves stresses, it balances you out, it gives you a boost of energy, it makes you feel better, just generally. It acts on the receptors in the brain similar to the receptors that opiates act upon. It has a similar kind of function as opiates, except it's safe and it's healthy, and it doesn't actually it it is not a narcotic substance. It doesn't actually do any sort of harmful, have any harmful side effects or damage you. If you take too much of it, you might get a little sick, and that's it. That's it. It's a perfect remedy for just about everything. The DEA and the FDA currently is fighting hard to try and outlaw it like they did with marijuana, because it's getting people off of drugs. One of the primary uses for kratom is to treat addiction. People get off of addictive substances like heroin by using kratom. DEA, FDA, Big Pharma, they don't want that. They want you to be taking their synthetic compounds, and they want it to lead to heroin addiction because they are supplying the heroin. They're making money off of it. If you don't know that, if you don't understand that, if you do not believe it, then either whatever, go ahead and believe what you want, or actually do a little research, look into it, and you're going to find that it's not hidden. It's obviously the case that our government faculties, DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, they're making money profiting off of the synthetic drugs and heroin and fentanyl that's being pushed on the streets. They're profiting from it. And so they don't want us to have kratom because it's an effective means to get off of that shit. And it's healthy, it's good for you, it is awesome in every way. And so we've been helping with kratom by supplying it to local shops that sell it. We don't supply it directly, but we hook them up with vendors from overseas so that they can get better prices, because we have two problems right now with the kratom. We have shops that are very highly overcharging people, and we can't have that. We cannot have the local shops overcharging people the way they are, because not only is it immoral and bullshit and pretty crappy thing to do for a profit that they can easily make otherwise, but it's going to fuck up what we're fighting for. It's going to help the FDA get this ban going, because people are not going to support it. If it's being overcharged the way that it is, then people are not going to purchase it. People are not going to support it like we need for them to. We need people to support our fight against this ban, because if they take away kratom, people are going to be going back to heroin. People are going to be fucking overdosing left and right. People are going to be dying. People are going to be hooked on synthetics. We're going to have a doped up fucking society that doesn't know, their ass from a fucking hole in the ground. We're going to have just bad news. That is a catalyst event that needs to be that needs to be addressed directly. And kratom is one of the key components. We need to ensure that kratom is readily available for people who need it to treat addictions and to treat symptoms of other ailments that otherwise would be treated with harmful narcotics. Now, the second problem that we have with kratom, and this is a big fucking serious issue, is that there are vendors who add chemicals to it. Any vendors watching, this video is for the vendors to explain this to you. If you're adding chemicals to your kratom, you need to fucking stop that shit immediately, because you are going to get it outlawed. You're going to fuck us all over. It is not good. These chemicals do not improve the kratom in any way. They do not enhance the kratom at all. All they do is make people sick. It's no good. Stop adding the fucking chemicals. And this video is meant to be an explanation for our potential vendors that are hooking up with us to supply for the local shops and for our community in general, working in association with the American Kratom Association, of course, working to fight this ban and support kratom. Vendors that watch this, we are not going to pay you anything. No, we're not going to pay for shipping costs for you to send us a small sample, because we can't trust that you're going to send us something that does not have these chemicals in it. We need to know that we can trust you. We need to know that we can trust that the delivery is going to be safe and on time, that the package is actually going to arrive and not get, snagged by fucking customs or what have you, confiscated for whatever reason. And if it is confiscated and it has chemicals in it, then that's it. Then we're over. We're dead if that happens. So, no, we cannot trust that you are going to even send us anything at all, let alone send us an actual natural product that is helpful and effective. So, no, we're not going to pay anything. But if you send us the sample, I can personally assure you that we are going to do every last little thing in our power to promote and to support you, to help you gain customers, to connect you with the local shops who they need. These local shops need solid providers so that they can get better prices. And we need for them to do that so that they stop overcharging people. Okay? So we have no reason to bullshit you. This is not some kind of a scam. We've been doing it for a little while now, for a couple months at least. We have vendors sending us products to supply as samples for local shops so that we can help them get solid suppliers at better prices. That's what we've been doing. The Status Initiative is here to network people, here to help things run smoothly and move faster. We're here to put people together. We're here to work negotiations. We're here to act as negotiators, communicative resources for anybody that needs it. And vendors that you are watching, you need it. You're not going to get anywhere contacting people one-on-one over Messenger and trying to sell them kratom. We will hook you up with a solid customer base. We will get you moving in the citywide, and eventually statewide. We will hook you up with shops. We're in fact negotiating with other shops that don't even know what kratom is to get them to start selling it to promote this cause. So hook up with us or don't. We already have what we need to keep going. We don't require more. But if you do hook up with us, it's going to be very beneficial for everybody. So please do. That's all I can say. No, we're not going to pay you anything. That runs a risk for us, and we do not have the money for it. You are a kratom provider. You're a vendor. You've been selling kratom. You have the money for it. It's not a big risk for you. It is an enormous risk for us. So no, we can't pay anything for it, but we can promise you that if you send that sample, we're going to hook you up big time. We're going to make sure that you succeed. We are all going to succeed together. So that's all. I hope you watch this. Kila Salai, Terve Uni Siari, Namaste. It means forward together, all as one, dedicated to our home world and to recognition of the deity within all of us. Love you guys, everyone who's watching. Thank you for this time. Be fucking awesome. Be excellent. Namaste.